Welcome to A Witch Is. So A Witch Is our podcast that we're doing in the lead up to Melbourne International Comedy Festival 2025. My name is Jayne Steer and I'm joined by two beautiful co-stars, ladies, life lovers, witches, whatever you want to call them.
Aww. You've got Woolley here, and I feel like whenever anyone asks me to introduce myself, I then have an existential crisis about who am I and what am I about and and describe myself. What's my favourite colour? Oh my God, I don't know.
Tell us how long you've been in comedy for and what your background is in comedy.
I've been doing comedy, I reckon, a couple of years now. It was something I thought about during COVID. Mm-hmm. I was cooped up in my little one-bedroom apartment and I've always really liked making people laugh.
Well, you do it naturally, you know, on your Instagram and everything.
My Instagram is unhinged.
It really is. Just like your set. I love it.
I feel like you can see like the descent into madness, into chaos. Like if you compared some of my posts maybe a couple of years ago to now, you'd be like, this is what has happened to her.
Is she okay? Please blink 3 times.
Yeah. I'm not okay, but I'm funny. So it's fine. It's fine.
Deliriously funny.
Yeah.
And I definitely use humour as a coping mechanism. And I love that humour has the ability to just like break down barriers and taboos and stuff that we don't talk about or we're not supposed to talk about. But it just kind of brings people together and makes people feel a little bit, I guess, less alone. If you hear any of my jokes and you think like, oh, I've been through that and, you know, I can come out the other side, I feel like my work here is done. I had an ex, and not that I'm not coming on here to like slander anyone. But I think at one point my ex was just like, you're not funny.
That just gives me power, honestly.
Absolutely.
You
and I'm one of those
and said your dick is funny though.
Yeah, exactly. Would you want to see a joke? Yeah, take your pants off.
See?
I feel like I started initially out of spite because I was like,
watch me.
Watch me. I am actually funny and I'm going to prove this to you. And then a year or two later, I'm in a show in the Melbourne Comedy Festival. So I'm like, well, who's funny now? But then I realised I actually really enjoy it. And I've met some very cool people and some really good friends. And I'm sitting here with 2 of them right now. And so it's actually just been such a good journey. So, and so I'm only like, I want to say 3 years in. Well, maybe that's a good segue to you.
Yeah. Em is nearly single. Not that matters.
Back on the market. Woo! Save me.
Come and get her. But yeah, she's single.
Yeah, I know.
And she's hot. And she's got a banana.
She's got a
banana.
Very good banana.
Comes with banana.
Yeah.
You know how like they used to have dowries and that like you're like, look, I don't come with money, but one banana.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah. This is like 50 cents worth of banana.
My shot.
Right.
It's the only thing I'll put in my mouth for the time being. So
Yeah. Do you put it anywhere else?
I don't know. It's like kind of, unless you want some mashed banana, babe. I mean, we can go down there.
Some mashed banana.
I think that's a different podcast. That's a different thing.
We've just like, I love how you're like, yeah, you'll notice the slow descent into madness. We've just fucking plummeted. We're like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Em, tell us about you, my love.
Well, apart from being newly single, which is so exciting, I've been doing comedy for 2 years now. And no, it wasn't something I decided as a small boy to become a comedian. You know, it wasn't something like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, I want to be a comedian one day. I just kind of got thrown into it after my divorce and was like, you need to, you know, try this out and give this a go. And I was like, oh, I don't have time. I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. Like, you know, I don't think that's on the cards for me. But look, you know, I took it up and here I am sitting in this room with you guys. So I love it. I think it's definitely given me confidence. It's made me wild. It's made me feel sexy. Like I can really give you a list of how different I am compared to the woman I was in 2022. Like wouldn't even recognize her. Like,
yeah.
Mind blowing. We haven't covered you. We haven't asked you about like how you got into comedy and why you're here. And Who are you?
So I'm the newest in comedy. I am the little...
You're the baby comedian.
I'm the baby comedian.
Baby.
I used to be the baby comedian. I love saying that to people. So Jayne, welcome.
We're all still
You're the
babies
middle
at
child
heart.
now. You're the eldest.
Am I the mum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck, guys.
Yeah, we look up to you.
You're the
Val.
youngest and
you
yet
need
you're
a
the mum
set
now.
example.
Yeah.
So I've only been in comedy since like July last year. Do I tell them the PG
Yes.
version or the real version?
The real version.
We need the real version.
Okay.
We're keeping it real here.
Yeah,
keeping it real.
I was about to say that too.
That's
We're
just-
revealing our truest like form here.
Because I don't think either of you know this.
Because we're all pretty new in terms of friends, though.
Yeah.
And also, we mentioned before, we talked about how like comedy is really hard. And I think it's also a really lonely journey. It's very solitary a lot of the time. You know, it's just you in your room with a notepad thinking about stuff you found funny during the week and trying to craft that into
Yeah.
something that you'll enjoy and then you think that other people will enjoy. So, and then you meet all these people at gigs, but then it's so fleeting. You know, you kind of hide by, you get on stage and everyone's running off to something else. Everyone has full-time jobs because like
And
we
also
need to
you
live
get like
and
the
pay
vibes
bills.
of people as well when you go to gigs. You're like,
Absolutely.
Next.
So it's so special to like find your people and find your friends and then be like, let's do a show. That's what this is. There's enough space for us all to succeed and for us all to do really
Absolutely.
well. And I think that gets forgotten.
and we're always like building each other up.
Okay, Jayne.
So the reason I got into comedy was mushrooms.
I love that. That is unique and different.
Right?
Belle and I we gave it a go.
Yeah.
Jayne, mushroom.
I did mushrooms one night. And this is actually one of the first jokes I wrote was that I'm at that point in my life where I need to do an eat, pray, love, but I couldn't afford it. So instead what I did was magic mushrooms with my Sri Lankan Buddhist boyfriend and we tried pegging for the first time.
Oh my
I like to call it
God.
eat, pray, lube, but that's like the joke, right? Yeah, Raw didn't like that joke. A pegging? What is a pegging?
Oh,
Where do I get one of
It's
those?
supposed to be on the clothesline.
Yeah.
Well, before the pegging situation, I was just imagining Jayne like skipping through the forest, like la 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 la, like picking
exactly,
her mushroom.
on mushrooms in a little like witchy dress
Yeah,
with
literally.
a wand. And I mean, I suppose she had some kind of
No.
wand.
I can't get the pegging out of my head.
Can we do a
Where's
whole
the
episode
banana?
on pegging?
Like she just la 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 peg peg peg.
Peg.
Oh my God, I'm shook. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
newly single, hearing about like my beautiful friend
Go to a
pegging her
sex
boyfriend
club.
like with a strap on. I'm like, where is this going? Like,
okay, sorry. So I'll get back to the story. My
Comedy.
I've just got you two having sex in my head. Like,
Okay, well,
Me too.
it's pretty hot.
because I'm very visual too, so I'm seeing it on the widescreen,
This.
IMAX theater.
I'm seeing
Yeah,
it in 4K.
little doodle play, like-
yeah.
When I was with my ex-husband, I got that creative bug again. I did a podcast when I was going through sobriety and then I wrote a book and I did all these fun things. But I was like, oh, my marriage is still shit. That's so weird. I started improv with the Improv Conspiracy. I did like a semester with them, but I was going through the divorce. That gave me confidence to leave my ex-husband, if I'm being honest, because I was like, for the first time in a very long time, I was like, oh, people like me. People think I'm funny. Like people are vibing with me. And I hadn't felt that in so long. I was like, oh, well, I don't even get this from my husband. So what the fuck am I doing? So improv is why I got divorced. No. And then I was like,
Hate your boyfriend? Try.
yeah, try improv. Yeah. Think
So it
about
could
to like
become
role
like a
plays.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, relationship coaching. Have you tried improv?
Yeah, it should be all pegging, all magic mushrooms, or why not all three? An improv show on mushrooms would be fucking amazing. Just
Can we
saying.
do that, please? Thank you. All right,
cool.
done.
We'll do one episode
not doing
secretly
anything
on
illegal.
mushrooms,
Yeah.
and we
Please,
won't
yeah.
tell anyone. and they'll have to
No,
guess which
please.
episode it is.
The whole
episode will be unhinged.
I'll just be getting like bananas, like
Yeah. Should be smushing them into each other. Peg. I told you this is a long story. This is why I don't tell people this story.
No,
Because it's like,
we got time. I got time.
I got time. So I hadn't spoken to my mum for like 15 odd years. So my mum is mentally very unwell. She has schizophrenia. She's never had medication for it. So she was not in our lives for a very long time. And then all of a sudden, after I go through my divorce, after I lose 2 babies within a year of each other and lose both my fallopian tubes, so much fun, I get a text message saying, by the way, your mum's dying, kind of like it. That's TLDR version of it. By the way, your mum's dying. And I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden I'm like, I need to be the best daughter ever for this person who's never put effort in with me. And so unfortunately went through a really dark time. That was so much to go on all within like a year. Like all this happened, like divorce, lose 2 babies, lose my fertility, find out my mum's dying. And then I ended up going up to North Queensland to help look after her, realised that she is still as bad for my mental health as she ever was, came back to Melbourne, had my 34th birthday and no one came.
Oh my God.
And I didn't tell my partner at the time, but I did quite a few mushrooms to the extent that I thought his face was a mountain. And I was like, I know you're a human, but is your face a mountain? Anyway, I had a really bad trip, like so scary. I felt like my chest was just like caving. Like it was horrible, like worst experience of my life, but also the best experience of my life. Because in that moment, I went to the depths of like despair where I realized like, I can either end my life and be miserable and depressed over what's happened with my mum, over what's happened with my reproductive system, over the divorce, over this, over that. Or I can just go, you know what, fuck it. I'm here for such a small amount of time in the world. And like, I need to make myself happy. I need to do what I want to do because I don't want to be 90 and then be like, oh, I wish I had tried stand-up comedy. So, yeah. And so then I did my first open mic at Funny Farm Comedy, which was wonderful because Maggie's so like welcoming and beautiful. And she was just so excited. She's like, a female, come, I'll put you on. And I was like, I've never done stand-up before. I don't know why you're so excited. And it was all right. Like it wasn't terrible. I just went, yeah, like this is what I want to do. I want to connect with people. I want to laugh about trauma. I want to find people who do connect through comedy via trauma. Yeah, and that's my life story, and this is why I'm here. Hi.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, and that's the thing. I'm always just like, people are like, oh, so why did you get into comedy? I was like, oh my gosh, because like I always just wanted to do it because I'm so funny.
Yeah, I was a class clown. I was so funny.
Yeah.
You're hot and funny. That's it.
We're all hot and funny.
Yeah, we are. Okay, sorry. I left us all out.
Yeah.
Hi, girls. Hi.
We should do that. Can people call in?
Yeah. On M's banana phone.
Yes.
So both of you have performed on stage before in different, I guess, shows, but Belle, you did Breast of the Fest in 2023? 2024.
24. So last year's Melbourne International Comedy Festival. That was my first ever festival experience. Couldn't recommend it enough. It was just such a great, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know Breast of the Fest, it's this really long-standing show. It's been going for about, when I say 6 or 7 years, and the idea of it is that you provide like a really welcoming environment for new young female or female identifying comedians to kind of gently enter the comedy world and the festival world, which is otherwise can be very overwhelming and just out of reach, I think, and prohibitively costly for artists. And it's basically a lineup show. There were 6 of us. Some of us were musical comedians. Some of us do, I guess, more traditional stand-up. Some of us do abstract. It was just such a supportive mix of people. You're not often on a lineup or with just all female comedians.
No, and it's such like a powerful opportunity to have like a strong, fierce female lineup. I love nothing more than seeing that.
Totally.
I mean, there's so many white straight dudes out there. I think, you know, we offer such a big range of difference compared to men.
Go on Netflix and you type in stand-up. It takes an alarmingly long time until you get a woman's stand-up set or a person of colour's stand-up set. Like it's quite saturated. It's a very male-dominated field. And the one thing that I found talking to people that have different stories is that women and people who are more on the margins of society, they are storytellers. They're not just getting up there and being like, here's a funny joke I wrote about my dick. It's quite often off the back of trauma, I think. It's like a coping mechanism. It's like a, you know, like how do I handle how shit my life is or the world is or this trauma I've experienced? And a lot of that comes naturally through humour. And I don't know if you guys have found it, but I know when I first started, I had a lot of the stereotypical comedian type people. They're like, your stuff is too dark. It's too serious. Like, no one wants to hear about that. And I'm like, what? I think that's what's going to be really beautiful about our show is that it's going to talk about stuff that I guess you wouldn't go to a 5-minute set and see. Like you wouldn't go to an open mic and see. We're going to be talking about real shit. But I was thinking, because like we've called this Toil, Trouble and Trauma. And I was like, it would probably sell better if we just called it titties, and tacos, you know?
Yeah. Or 3 girls, 1 cup.
3 girls, 1 cup.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because we really are unhinged.
We really are unhinged.
We should upload this to Pornhub.
Oh my gosh, yes. And it's just like 3 hot girls, blonde, brunette and redhead, get it on in studio.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. But it's just us sitting in the room, we're talking about witchcraft. And
Right.
And my
so a guy will be sitting there with his pants down like, where's the action? And I'm like, here's the action, baby.
Here it is.
Oh, she's
You know what I mean?
Oh.
And yeah.
That's
and you
too
guys
much
make
for
that
me.
noise. And I'm
Too
like,
much. No. Oh.
Okay, well, obviously now we can upload it to Pornhub.
Yeah. 100%. We're going to have to like blur it out for TikTok.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
like,
yeah. This is censored.
Yeah.
This is R18
Not
plus.
appropriate, but find us on Pornhub. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you raise a good point, Jayne. I think even in comedy, like there aren't many female comedians around, but you go into it and there's very much this like expectation that you will still cater to everyone else's or like society's general expectation of what a woman is supposed to be like. So you're supposed to be there and be all cutesy and make lighthearted jokes. Totally, exactly. Because I've got quite a lot of dark jokes and I often talk about one of my big things is sort of mental illness and having depression and taking antidepressants, which is a very common experience for people. But, you know, I take that to a point where I'll make jokes about killing myself, you know, not to take away from the seriousness of that. But people are often quite alarmed and they're sort of like, hang on, sorry, you're not, you know, you're not supposed to be making these like dark, outrageous.
Like they get offended.
Kind of, well, yeah. And that makes them really uncomfortable.
and you're like, sit in it. How does it feel?
Yeah. How does it feel? This is what women have to deal with every single day.
Yeah. Or like if you're too sexual on stage, like I love making sex jokes and talking about my experience as a deaf, hard of hearing woman having sex. And again, people are like, oh, again, women, you know, all they can joke about is sex and so inappropriate, like think about something else. And like it's that, again, that expectation that we can't make certain jokes because we are female. Right. And I think that needs to go right in the bin. But again, like, you know, the dark stuff as well, like I make, you know, jokes about, you know, suicide and sorry, we shouldn't really say that word.
Unaliving.
Make jokes about unaliving. And again, it's a coping mechanism. Like being a comedian is healing. Of course, if you're doing it in the right way. Often if you feel like you're worried about a comedian going down that path, check out for the signs, you know, make sure that they're okay, you know, let them know that you're there to help them. Because, you know, being in the comedy scene can be dark in itself, you know, if you go down that path of drugs and alcohol and everything. A lot of comedians I've run into are not sober per se. So yeah, there is a line where you got to like be conscious. But other than that, like if you're up on stage and doing your thing, you know.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the thing. We're living in a world where, you know, the victor writes history, right? The victor in pretty much 99% of cases has been a very typical type of person. And they are also the type of people that tell us what we're allowed to laugh at. They're the type of people that are in high-powered positions where they're able to dictate what marketing we see, what news is in the world. And that sucks because it's not representative of the whole picture. And I think that we're now at a point in society where we're looking at these freedoms of speech and these freedoms of being able to express ourselves either being weaponized against us or we're just not able to do that. And that's scary. Like that really is scary. And one thing that I keep thinking about, and I may be having an existential crisis at the moment, / I definitely am, is that like we're living in a world where the bad guys consistently have won. And that's fucking scary. We're in Star Wars and Palpatine has won. You know, we're in Harry Potter and Voldemort won. Like that is the world we're like seeing occur around us, and that's really scary. And a lot of, I guess, the research that I've been doing, because I'm a super nerd, is around like, well, why do we view women these ways? Why do we view certain relationships these ways? To bring it back to witch culture and witch lore, a lot of that was created out of fear of women or people who are other rising up and taking over control from the average white dude. And that's all it comes down to. Like it's really scary. And so I think that this show is really important and timely in its messaging that like, if we don't start taking action now and speaking up as a collective, then unfortunately a lot of these things are going to go back to where we've sadly come from.
And the saddest thing about it is I think often it's the minorities and people in lower socioeconomic status groups who actually lose out. And women, we are, as a collective, we're a minority. So you're seeing, you know, things like reproductive rights being wound back, you know, certain types of healthcare, or which I guess sort of falls into that same category. But it's actually really scary when you take a step back and have a look at it. I guess when we got together and we were like, we're going to do a show, and we were mulling about, okay, well, what are we going to call it and what are we going to do? It was that thing of like, you can't put us into a box. You know, we've all had our own journeys and they have been very much less than typical. I think I can say that. Yeah. Say that on behalf of everyone. Yeah. But, you know, we're still here and we're having a grand old time, and we're not going to let anyone, I guess, force us into
their expectations of us, really.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's not the easy path, right?
No.
I think in some cases it is really easy to just, you know, sometimes you do feel like just rolling over and being like, okay, whatever. Because it just takes so much energy to put yourself out there into the world and make jokes about things that make people uncomfortable, or that people say, oh, you're not funny or whatever. Yeah. But actually I think, you know, for us all to stay true to ourselves, that, you know,
that's powerful.
We feel like we've got to do it.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe we should talk about, many people may have heard the phrase maiden, mother, crone. What did you guys know about that before going into this?
Nothing.
I also knew nothing.
Okay.
I was very much into like the whole witch theme, but I was also only aware of everything that happened at Salem, you know, like women being instantly labelled witches because of the differences that they, you know, were producing, for example, like, you know, being into herbs or being into spirituality or having a voice against a man, whatever, like instant, you know, shamed, to the side, witch. That was all I really understood about, you know, witchcraft and such. I never really knew that there was more than that, and how it still exists today, which is insane that we are still experiencing it.
Yeah. I also didn't know much about it, but I understood that there is often that archetype of or that triad, the triad of women. So men get you know, Jesus, God and the Holy Spirit, but we get maiden, mother, crone, which is lovely. And originally I thought it was to describe 3 different women, but actually it was used by men and around medieval times to describe the life stages of a woman and her usefulness. So you're a maiden, you're young. Quite often maidens were accused of bewitching men, of being overly sexual, of taking, that power into their hands and their own sexuality into their hands. You'll quite often hear, oh, a maiden is bossy or stubborn or precocious. And I think even as young females, you grow up having to be a certain way. Like you have to be girly, you have to be this. You can't play boys' sports, you have to play girl sports, you have to do dancing. So like this stereotype of the maiden definitely still exists, and quite often in popular media, if you have multiple female characters, they will fall into one of those archetypes. They'll either be a maiden, a mother, or a crone. And something that I just watched the other day that really honed in on this was The Substance. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I think I saw like the billboard driving here. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
So it's got Demi Moore in it and it's got Margaret Qualley in it. And essentially The Substance, she's this aging actress who's just turned 50 and she's been retired. She's been forced out because she's no longer useful to society. And that very much plays into the crone archetype. And the crone archetype came along because women over a certain age were considered useless to society, because if they were disabled or they had dementia or things like that, we know that women's life expectancy is much older than a man's. And so quite often he would die and she would be left to look after herself. And that became burdensome for society. So quite often older women were accused of being a witch solely because they were older, solely because society was like, oh, we don't know what to do with you anymore. Let's kill her. That's, you know, where it leads into things like mental hospitals as well and mental asylums. You know, we went away from like burning women at the stake to putting them in asylums, essentially. So that's the crone. The crone archetype is very common. And the one thing about being a crone is that you're older and there's no age limit really, because realistically it's when you can't have children anymore, because you come after the mother phase. So as a woman in the mother era, you are just raising children. That's it. That is your priority.
You're not working. You're not allowed to do anything else. You're not allowed to have any hobbies.
No. You're like pretty much describing my marriage.
But that's the thing. It's so prevalent and you see it in a lot of communities still.
Like it's still ongoing today, which is something that I had to escape from because I was not allowed to work, not allowed to achieve anything. I wasn't allowed to volunteer anywhere. I wasn't allowed to enjoy sport, nothing. I was literally restricted to my mother duties and basically serving this man. No matter how good I did that, it was still never good enough.
Yeah.
And now like the whole thing has shifted for me. I'm, you know, this strong independent woman raising 3 kids on my own. And on top of that, I'm now having to face dating men, for example, who go, oh gosh, she's already been used. She's got 3 kids. You know what I mean? So now I'm facing that kind of used goods kind of thing that's come into my path. But I think that I am confident now not to let that get in my way. So if I do come across a man shoving me aside going, oh, I don't really date single moms, I'm like, cool, move on to the next.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to ruin my future and my perception, if that makes sense. But it is still prominent and women are so affected by it.
Yeah.
But give a man who has 3 kids to a woman, she'll accept him.
Well, I mean, just look at people like Trump and Musk who have 8 children to like how many different women, you know, like there's still such a double standard. Like a man is meant to spread his seed, but if a woman opens her legs to too many men, it's like, ooh. And I always think like for me, when I was researching the maiden archetype, which I guess, Belle, you're kind of representing in our show, the one thing I kept thinking about is the fact that women are considered impure as soon as a man has his way with them. And I'm like, why is that on the woman? Like, I'm sorry, but that should be on the man. Like, we put so much shame on women at every stage of their life, and we still live in a society where it's like, well, which part of your life are you at? Are you the maiden? Are you the mother? Are you the crone? Where do you fit into that? And if you aren't following what society says you should be doing at that point in your life, then get the fuck out. Like, and I think that's where our show is going to be really eye-opening, because none of us fit into these boxes, and yet we're so pressured by society to fit into those boxes. And it's
Absolutely.
like, well, what if I don't want to? And I think we've got some really exciting guests coming on. We've got Nikki Barry, Melbourne comedian. Her set is so unhinged. I love it. She talks a lot about doing drugs for the first time after she gets divorced in her mid-50s. And
amazing.
She has this wonderful anecdote about smuggling drugs to Tasmania. It's so good.
She's got such an amazing confidence on stage, and she's wonderful. Can't wait.
Her story, I heard it and I was just like, I need to know this woman. Like I was like, I messaged her. I was like, when I grow up, I want to be you.
That is so sweet. Did she reply?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I like to think she's my godmother now. She's
my
fairy godmother.
She's our godmother.
She's our fairy godmother. So she's coming on. We have Audrey Harradine, who is an incredible trans comedian and activist in Melbourne. Obviously, it's so frustrating at the moment, and I've been thinking of her nonstop during these last few weeks with everything that's happening in the world. And obviously that ties a lot into witchcraft, because witches were often seen as shapeshift. A lot of that just came from them not liking people wearing clothes they weren't meant to wear, or dressing up as something they weren't.
God forbid us wearing pants.
Yeah, how dare you? And then we've got Irvi, hopefully, fingers crossed, Irvi Majumdar. I'm so excited.
Such an exciting podcast.
Yeah. And fingers crossed, Sashi Pereira. So, and a couple of other people along the way. And they're all going to be talking about their identity and how they feel being a woman in society and
some of those parallels, I think, between, you know, these archetypes, which we think of, and we think of witchcraft as like being from medieval times and being, you know, hundreds of years ago. And once you delve into it, you're like, there's actually a lot of parallels here with our everyday lives and how we're treated by people around us and the expectations that are forced onto us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's literally, you know, witch hunts happening in America at the moment with ICE agents, you know, that's all it is at the end of the day. And it's quite alarming. Like, I actually looked at one of the posters that is going up all over America, and it's like, report illegal aliens now, you know, and it looks so similar to report Jewish neighbors now, or like report witch neighbors now, you know, and
history
that's
repeats
scary.
itself.
It really does.
Yeah.
And
you just look at what's happening in the Middle East. I mean,
yes. Oh, that reminds me. I know Galentine's Day is coming up, and I got you guys something from House of Dizzy, which is Indigenous owned and operated business here in Melbourne, in Naarm. So you can either have this one that says "Stop Violence Against Women." They're cute little earrings.
They're so sweet.
Or this one that says "Fuck the patriarchy."
Oh my God. So good. And they've got diamantes.
And this one says "Always was, always will be" with the Palestine flag.
They're all freaking beautiful.
You guys choose.
Beautiful.
I think we know which one I'm going to have.
Stop violence against women.
I know. Oh, so I have to choose.
Right? Because I was
between these. These are so great. I'm leaning towards fuck the patriarchy because I know I would get fired if I wore these to work.
See, again, we're like being silent. Again, when we talk about like narcissism and stuff and like abuse in a marriage, you can't talk about that. You need to get over it.
Right.
You know, like it's a never ending cycle.
And that's why we need to speak up and use our voices through comedy.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
And I got these printed. These are just temporary. Like, this was just because I was panicking. I was like, we need to get something printed.
I love these.
It is so good.
So we've got posters for our show.
Cute.
Oh, they're amazing. God, we look good.
And
I say that?
We should mention, we did our amazing photo shoot. We had Moni from Momo Photo to do our photos. She was the best.
She was a babe.
Such a vibe. And we did it at Hail Lilith, which is once again a femme run bar. And it's just like, if you haven't been to Hail Lilith, bloody go there. Like, it's just
You're missing out.
like, it's a witch's dream.
Don't walk.
Yeah.
These are so cute.
Amazing.
And so come to our show. It's going to be so funny. Like,
You will laugh, I promise.
Talking about toaster baths and everything. I'm so excited.
Someone was like, are each of you like toil, trouble and trauma? Like, which one's which? And I was like, no.
No.
That's not how this works.
Combined.
Yeah.
We
get a little bit of each.
Yeah. We're going to, each of us will trauma dump on you. Like, that's just,
We love trauma dumping in public.
Absolutely. And we love making people feel so uncomfortable.
And you'll love it. So we're at Speakeasy Theatre during the Melbourne Comedy Festival from the 7th of April to the 15th of April. So we've got 9 shows. And we'd love you to be there.
We really would. It's going to be a really fun show. We're time traveling witches. There'll be audience participation.
I'm excited to get on stage and be sexy.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah. One of you will get pegged by the end of the show.
Yeah.
I'll be pegging someone.
Free pegging.
Free pegging. With our wands.
Buy one, get 2 free.
You can't get pegged anywhere else in Melbourne for $20.
Right. And buy tickets. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And
come and hang out with us. It's just going to feel like a night out with the girls, except the girls
dress in your floral.
Oh, I was going to say that too. Oh my gosh, trigger.
Night out with the girls, except the girls are fucking crazy.